All right, shalom. All right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham Rekakwadash Brakatham. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, who rule well, and a salute and a shalom to all the Akim that are out to labor pushing his truth in all sincerity and in truth. This is another ancient manner and customs lesson. 559, Baal, right? This is Jeremiah 50 and 2. It says, Babylon is taken, Baal is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces, right? Now, the Babylon is speaking of is the modern day Babylon, aka America. This is the Elder Yashawamba's channel. His video he put up an hour ago, News and Prophecy, the mother of all harlots, Sodom and Egypt. It says Baal was the principal god of the Babylonians and the third in rank among the Assyrians. The name is generally supposed to be the how you say that? Chaldeic, I guess, form of Baal, though this is disputed by some. For an account of Baal worship, see note in Numbers 22 and 41. See, it says, this is Numbers 22 and 40 to 41. It says, and Balak offered oxen and sheep and sent them to Baalim, and to the princes that were with him. And it came to pass on the morrow that Balak took Balaam and brought him up into the high places of Baal, that thence he might see the utmost part of the people. See? In addition to what is there stated, we may remark that the sacrifices offered to Baal consisted of adult cattle and their sucklings, together with incense, the horn calf, so frequently observed in Assyrian monuments, is supposed to have been the symbol of this god. Baal is also mentioned in Isaiah 46 and 1 and Jeremiah 51 and 44. Because the Elder Yashawamba, he's going into Baal and Baal, which Baal is Baal anyway, but yeah. Where am I going? Okay, yeah. Isaiah 46 and 1. It says Babylon's idols and the true power, right? It says, Baal boweth down, Nebo stoopeth, Their idols were upon the beast and upon the cattle. Your carriages are heavy laden. It says your carriages are heavy loaded. They are a burden to the very beast. They stoop, they bow down. Together they could not deliver the burden, but they themselves are gone into captivity. Right? It says both idols and their owners are bowed down. The gods cannot protect the people, and the people cannot protect the gods. They go into captivity together. It says, hearken unto me, O house of Jacob, and all the remnant of the house of Israel, which are born by me from the belly, which are carried from the womb. It says, listen to me, descendants of Jacob, all you who remain in Israel. I have cared for you since you were born. Yes, I carried you before you were born. It says, I will be your power throughout your lifetime until your hair is white with age. I made you and I cared for you, and I will carry you along and save you. See, man? So basically, these idols, they can't save you. They can't protect you. Only Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will protect us and will carry us all the way to the kingdom. Only Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will do that. Not these idols, man. They say, yeah, in Jeremiah 51. And 44. Let's see. I was reading it. Thinking for the book of Baruch. Yes. Think. Let me see real quick. Salakia, man. Salakia. Gotta see if I can find this. Can't find it, but it's all good. It says, This is Jeremiah 51 and 44. It says, and I will punish Baal in Babylon, and will bring, and that says, and I will bring forth out of his mouth that which he hath swallowed up, and the nations shall not flow, neither, it says, the nations, it says, shall not, it says, shall not, it says, and the nations shall not flow together any more unto him. Yeah, the wall of Babylon shall fall. All right. It says the origin and meaning of the name Merodach are doubtful. Instead of being a separate deity from Baal, he is supposed to be identical. The name being originally a descriptive epithet of Baal, which gradually became recognized as one of the names of that deity. On the monuments, he is known as Baal Merodach. Now, well, let's see. This is how Baal looked. See, the image of Baal. Well, yeah, Baal. So, but it says, on the monuments he is known as Baal Merodach. Nebuchadnezzar calls him the king of the heavens and the earth, the great Lord, the senior of the gods, the most ancient. Crazy. The supporter of sovereignty, the layer up of treasures, and ascribes to him. So this is Baal, right? An idol, a Babylonian idol. Baal. Come on, man. Let's keep going now.
Are broken in pieces. All right. Let's look up Baal. All right, or Baal. Baal. Okay. All right. Baal or Baal. Lord, a chief Babylonian deity. All right. And what we need to understand is that all of these. Give me 1 second. All of these idols go back to Babel. All right. Which ultimately Nimrod and all of that rhetoric. All right. Now, some of these guys were revived during the Assyrian, all right, the Neo-Assyrian Babylonian Empire with Nebuchadnezzar and all of that. Okay. But again, as we are living in Babylon the Great, you know, Baal and all of these various different practices, all right, are back today.
Right.
Did the Canaanites worship Baal? Yes, the Canaanites heavily worship.
Because it says what? There is what? Nothing new under the sun, right? Yeah, 1 and 9. It says, the thing that, this is Ecclesiastes 1 and 9. The thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. Is there anything whereof it may be said, see, this is new? It hath already been of old time, which was before us. See, man? So the ancient idols are coming back. Or back here today, though, man.
Worship Baal as their primary fertility and storm god. All right. And not only did they worship Baal, but there are practices and sacrifices that Baal requires. All right. Just as our Lord Yahweh, all right, Bahashem Yahweh Shai requires sacrifice, all right, and righteousness. These gods require sacrifice and behaviors, all right, that are tied to the worship of these gods, all right. And ultimately, we see these practices, okay, in today's world, okay. Going back to Sirach, the 10th chapter, right? Sirach 10:2, as the judge of the people is himself saw her as officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So as we are witnessing the behavior of the people go absolute left, all right, it's because of a detachment, especially amongst our people, a detachment from order and from the true power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which requires order as a sacrifice, okay? Which requires gender roles, all right? All right, particular standards. See, and we as Israelites, let's get the book of Deuteronomy 12, and then I want to get into some history, right? Because as we're looking at all of this madness going on, right? Why in the hell did they bring back the temple, this particular temple? For what? Why do they need to bring this back? Formerly part of the temple of Baal, often confused with the temple of Baal, was exhibited in New York City in September 2016. It was placed in the City Hall, not in Times Square. It was a monument to cultural preservation following its destruction by ISIS, right? While linked in some discourse to the ancient temple of Baal, it was explicitly identified as a replica of the archway in the temple of Baal in Palmyra, Syria. All right, which all of these things go back to the same source. All right, meanings change, names change, but it all goes back to the same source, man. Okay? And this actually happened.
Yep.
Okay? And this was authorized to happen. Okay, and why ain't it a lot of news that took place on it? Very weird. Anyway, let's go to Deuteronomy 12. And let's go to verse. Let's get it in the NLT, right? Let's go to verse. So much information. Yep, Deuteronomy 12:25. Do not consume the blood, that all may go well with you and your children after you, because you will be doing what pleases the Lord. And see, now we understand why when the Gentiles came into the fold, all right, they were commanded, okay, as they were following those Greco-Roman practices in Acts the 15th chapter.
Basically, man, we need salvation, man. We need deliverance, man. We need deliverance, man. Oh, we need deliverance, man. It says what, man? It says, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations they be done in the midst thereof. If you're not sighing and crying, man, something is wrong with you. Because it says what? That the captive exiled. Let's see. Isaiah 51:14, it says, the captive exile hasteneth, that he may be loosed, that he should not die in the pit, know that his bread should fail. See? So we're sighing and crying and praying that Yahweh Shemashah come save us.
When the Jews were trying to force circumcision on them, the leaders of the church came to the conclusion that, look, wherefore my sentence, Acts 15 and 19, is that we trouble not them which from among the Gentiles are turned unto the Most High, but we write unto them that they abstain from the pollutions of idols, and from fornication, and from things strangled, and from blood.
Yeah, all of these wicked behaviors, all of these detestable things that these celebrities are doing, it all goes back to idolatry, man. It all goes back to idol worship.
Because, see, the ancient Greco-Roman Empire followed these same practices. Okay? They got their gods and goddesses, okay, from the Canaanites, from the Egyptians. Okay? And now we understand why this is a spiritual Sodom in Egypt.
Yep.
All right? Esau runs this spiritual Sodom in Egypt. And remember, Esau, right, in the book of Genesis, let's see here.
Chapter. Yep.
Let's get the book of
Esau married a Canaanite woman. So he was getting back into the practices. He was getting back into the idolatry and idol worship and all that.
Genesis 26 and 34. Remember, all right, not following the commandment of his father and mother.
Right. Yep. Because Isaac and Rebekah, they told Esau. They told him, let's see. Because it says, bride chosen by parents. Yeah, I know where I'm going. I gotta get it. Since it's brought up, I get it. Hold on. I think it's like Genesis. It's coming up. All right, bride chosen by parents, right? Now, Isaac and Rebekah told Esau, right? Told him this, well, Genesis 26. Hold on. Because they told him not to marry a certain type of woman. Okay? But Esau is rebellious as fuck, so he gonna do what he want. All right, this is Genesis 26 and 34 to 35. It says, and Esau was 40 years old when he took Judith, the daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Beth-Shemoth, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and to Rebekah. Right? Now, see something real quick. Genesis 27, 46. Let's see. Right now, Isaac and Rebekah, they told Jacob this. Genesis 27 and 45 says, until thy brother's anger turn away from thee, and he forget that which thou hast done to him, then I will send thee, says, then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? And Rebekah and Isaac, it says, and Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life because of the daughters of Heath. If Jacob take a wife it says, if Jacob take a wife of the daughters of Heath, such as these were of the daughters of the land, it says, what good shall my life do to me? See? But remember, Isaac told Jacob this, right? It says, Genesis 28 and 1, and Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said unto him, thou shalt not take a wife of the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padanaram, to the house of Bethuel, thy mother's father, and take thee a wife from thence of the daughters of Laban, thy mother's brother. See?
To stay away from the Canaanites, Esau took the wife of the Canaanites. So he was already getting back into those practices. And we know that making a marriage with a heathen nation and not keeping her in her order and allowing her to forward her gods, all right, now you're aligned with those gods. So Esau did this back then. He started to get back, all right, his philosophy and doctrine from what the serpent, in the garden brought forth. He started to get it back here when he linked with this Canaanite. Genesis 26 and 34. And Esau was 40 years old when he took to wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite. These are Canaanites. Okay? And Bashemath, the daughter of Elon, Elon, the Hittite. See that? So remember, right? And as you keep reading, which were a grief of mine to Isaac and Rebekah. They were pissed off that Esau did this because we were commanded, all right, even before the law, it was known to stay away from the Canaanites. See? This is the book of Genesis 24 and 3. This is what Abraham, all right, and Sarah told Isaac, and I will make thee swear by the Lord. Genesis 24 and 3, I will make thee swear by the Lord. Hear that thunder? That's how serious he was about this. That I will make thee swear by Yahweh, the God of heaven, and the God of earth, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites among, all right, whom I dwell.
Right. And remember, Abraham sends his trusty servant hundreds of miles away to find a wife for Isaac, for Abraham's son Isaac. See, and the servant asked him, said, well, what if she don't want to come? What if she don't want to come with me? Can I then come back and bring Isaac with me? He said, don't ever bring Isaac to where you're going. Don't ever bring him there. See, let's get that. Hold on. Yep. Genesis 24. It says in 4, it says, but thou shalt go into my country, to my kindred, and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And the servant said unto him, Peradventure, the woman will not be willing to follow me into this day. Follow me into this land. Must I needs bring thy son again unto the land whence thou camest? And Abraham said unto him, Beware thou that it says thou that it says beware thou that thou bring not my son thither again, right? No, Abraham responded, be careful to never take my son there. See?
Right. So when you make a covenant marriage, which involves inheritance, which involves, you should be paired with one. You become one flesh. The gods have to match. And see, the issue with Israel, even going back to before we were called Israelites, going back to the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter, is that we would get among these heathen and make literal marriages with them. All right. And now their gods are mixed with our gods. And what we would end up doing is basically following after the customs of them. And this was a warning, even going back here to Genesis, the 24th chapter. All right. To stay away from the Canaanites. Okay. In Deuteronomy the 7. Okay. There's a specific law, right? Deuteronomy the 7th chapter. Okay. When you go to possess the land, right? And I'm casting these nations out, the Hittites, the Girgashites, the Amorites, the Canaanites, and all of these are fulfilled in Canaanites at the end of the day. And the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, all right? You ain't supposed to make no covenant with them. You ain't supposed to make no marriage with them. Okay? And then 14 chapters later, it gives us a law on how to deal with the rest of the heathen nations outside of these 7 nations. You take them in as concubines. Okay. And there's even an order to that. You don't allow them to forward their gods. They must put off all of the culture they grew up with and all of what they thought they believed. And they're going to have to come up under your order as a lesser wife, in your household. We have that order. But when you dealt with the Canaanites, you were supposed to know, because what would they do? They will turn away thy son from following me. All right, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you. Okay, and going to this, Elder Tazapas sent this into the chat. I'm just going to go down to this point. In summary, all right, speaking of Esau marrying that Canaanite, the Hivites, as a part of the Canaanite tribes, play a significant role in the narrative of Esau's life choices, illustrating the ongoing tension between cultural assimilation and covenantal faithfulness in the biblical account. So Esau was rebellious.
Yep.
He didn't go get a wife from among the people who his parents commanded him. He went and dealt with a Canaanite. So already back here, he started to what? All right, get his shit back. All right, because he is the seed of the serpent, but he was born, all right, into a new body as Esau. Okay? So he went and got with that Canaanite, which was a grief unto his mother and his father and his mother. And pretty much now we're witnessing.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to dishonor your father and mother, man. That's what Esau did, man. He dishonored them, but not by not following their rules. See? Let's see. All right. What is the consequences of not honoring your parents in the ancient world? Right. It says in the ancient world, not honoring your parents was viewed not not merely as a personal failing, but as a direct assault on the social, legal, and cosmic order, often resulting in severe consequences ranging from social ostracism and to capital punishment. The filial, I guess that's how you say that, piety was considered the foundation of a stable society, and violations were met with intense, often brutal repercussions. It says the parent, this concept says divine cursing, right? The Bible warns that those who dishonor their parents will face divine judgment. Esau is about to face what? Divine judgment, uh, including having their lamp put out in obscure darkness. Esau's lamp will be put out into obscure darkness, man. Proverbs 20 and 20. Let's get that. Proverbs 20 and 20 says, whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in obscure darkness. It says, if you insult your father or mother, your light will be snuffed out in total darkness. See? But Esau, he wanted to do what he wanted. He wanted it to do whatever fed his flesh. He's rebellious, man. Rebellious.
Okay? All of these things coming out about what they're doing. Okay? Children able to change their gender. Billie Eilish admits she joined Hollywood Blood Ritual Club. I love babies and a taste of blood. All of these sex abuse brothels and all of these things we're seeing just pop up out of nowhere. Child trafficking. Okay? All of these weird.
All right, man. So that's the lesson. So with that, I say, all right. So with that, I say, shalom.